I think I started like a T-shirt company, like a printed company, when I was about 24, so 11 years ago, and I just started printing like a couple like little prints, and I would actually take them out on the street. Like I was printing in like my bedroom, in like a little apartment, and then I had like a tiny little table, and I would go out on the street and like sell them on the weekends, like in Soho, and like that was really the beginning of like the whole business, you know, and it just kind of grew from there and turned into like other projects and like making other kinds of things. But yeah, it started with like 60 T-shirts, you know, which is, and I still do a little bit of printing, you know. Bags about probably 6 years ago. I don't know. I mean, I really got like bored with like the kind of projects that I was doing, and like I wanted something like more physical and something that like went out in the world and like changed over time. And bags are kind of perfect for that. Like you wear them and they fray and they alter and they like, you know, the sun changes the color and like they really take on the qualities of like the person who's carrying them. And so it's this cool project. And now like I see them like around the city, you know, like of people carrying them for a long time. And, you know, for me it feels like I'm building something like concrete, something that's like real and out in the world. Yeah, because I'm more of like a maker than a designer. You know, like I don't. I think a lot of people get into design and they want to design something on a computer and then they want to send it somewhere else to get made. And I hate being on my computer. Like I want to be like at a table like making something. You know, and it's the only way to sort of make something that makes sense to me. Like I don't plan it out beforehand. Like it's all like, you know, it's done with your hands. You lay one thing on top of another, and if it doesn't work, you take it apart and you do it again. And like so it's like doing it with your hands is a way of thinking. You know, is that's the whole process is like having your hands on it. Yeah, I mean it's hard work here especially because it takes so much to kind of like stay afloat in New York. You know, to make enough. And yeah, I mean I think it was a struggle to like it's just a lot of like work. So you have to put aside a lot of the other things in your life for a while and like just get this thing started and like create like a kind of a like an identity for your brand and your company and really just put the work in and get good at making what you make, you know. And that's just it's time, you know. There's no shortcut to get there. You just have to like spend the time getting better at your craft, you know. So that's been a struggle, you know. Now, you know, it's hard to like you got to balance the time. I mean, I moved here like originally to go to art school, but I think that
Maybe alright?
I went to Pratt for a little bit, and then I went to Cooper Union for like 3 years, and but I think that Brooklyn is like very like it's like mixed. It's a bunch of different like cultures and fashions and styles, and there's a real like there is a real appreciation for like a kind of handmade or like things that are local, and there's like an investment in community,
Yes.
which is what allows me to have this business at all, where it's like small enough that it's mostly just me. But I know like, you know, we could walk into 3 different restaurants in this neighborhood, and there'd be somebody who works there who has one of my bags, or you'd see one on the corner, and like it's about knowing the people, you know, and having that relationship back and forth. Like that's what makes Brooklyn so like special, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean it is part of the business, you know, and it's but I feel like I'm much better at the making than like the communicating and writing emails and listing things and bringing out the phone and like I still have to kind of do both parts, but you know like being in here and like putting something together is much more like pleasant to me than like dealing with logistics of like orders and things like that and shipping things around, you know. But I still have to do computer stuff a little bit through the brand. I mean, I think that the whole brand is about like is about like simplicity and durability. You know, it's about making something that's going to like last beyond like a season or beyond a year, and like investing in the way that will like change over time and become kind of more yours or be like a thing that you can pass on. And I really try to make things with that in mind, that they're not, like there's a lot of fashion, there's a lot of things that you buy and then you wear for a season and then you throw them away. Or you never wear them again. And I don't want to make things like that. You know, I don't want to make things that won't last, or things that only sort of appeal to like the very present moment. Like I want something that'll extend into the future. Yeah, and I think that it's better for everybody to have something that you can last or you can invest in and like repair and like spend time with, you know. Well, and we lose the ability to like repair things. Like people don't. I've been thinking about this a lot. I've actually been looking at yeah, like old like textiles and like sweater repairs and like the way that people repair their denim and like all of that stuff is like, it makes the object more unique, you know, and it sort of saves you from having to like find some new thing, you know. It's just, I don't know, you win either way, you know, like it feels like a better solution. Mm. I mean, I think that's the idea of do it yourself is like how like it's like not being willing to like accept the solutions that are like given to you know. That, like, you know, you need a table and the store tells you have like these two options and like no, you don't. You really have as much as you can like imagine or build or like find the materials for, and like that's, I don't know, it's like a much more interesting world if you can like invest in your like imagination and your skills to like to make something, you know, because I don't know, because like a big brand is only going to sell you the thing that appeals to like most people, you know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, it's gray because
exactly.
people like gray, I guess,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not, but it's not about you, it doesn't speak to you, you know, and DIY is really like about finding a path that is yours.
Mhm.
Mm.